What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Bourbon and Bullshit podcast with some good friends, great drinks, and a little bit of BS. So grab a seat, pour up something neat, and welcome to the show. All right. Welcome back to Bourbon and Bullshit. Today, we are joined once again by a good friend, Justin L., a.k.a. The musical sensation, a.k.a. my fantasy football rival in every single fucking league.
Every league, yes.
He needs to stop getting invited to shit.
Hey, G, fuck you, bro.
Oh, listen here, 0-6 in Fans League.
Oh, fuck. God damn it.
So today, as you can tell, this one is going to be a little bit focused on sports and just randomness and how they're associated with alcohol. Mm-hmm. But man, first, I do want to talk about our drink of the day because it's a pretty cool drink. I made it.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, this is a drink I've made up on my own. I'm entering a contest, and I'm not going to get too into the weeds of what the contest is.
Yeah.
But this one is a unique one where let me get the actual ingredients. It's my version of the porn star Martini.
Oh.
But it's a podcast star Martini.
It's filthy.
It's filthy. So this one is a little bit of a hot, sweet, passion fruity. Like, so for anyone who's actually heard of the porn star Martini, it's a drink that became really popular because of one, it's unique. And it's a company called Pasua. It's a passion fruit liqueur. And this one typically is served with also a side of champagne, dry champagne. Mm-hmm. It's a very flavorful, bright, loved cocktail. And now they have a contest out where now everyone gets to make their own version of it. By the time this comes out, I have no problem saying the ingredients because the contest we should have already won. I already ran, not won. I guess I'm being optimistic.
There you go. Throw it out there into the universe.
So this cocktail is 1 ounce of that passion fruit liqueur, half an ounce of passion fruit juice, half an ounce of passion fruit puree, 1.5 ounces of Cooper's Mark vanilla bean whiskey, 3/4 of an ounce of lime juice, and half an ounce of a cayenne cinnamon simple syrup, and with a side of Prosecco, brut sparkling white wine, 2 ounce pour. I had Justin try it.
Yeah.
And what did you think?
Bro, I loved it. That's kind of like my style, especially, I don't know, man, something about the passion fruit, Caribbean styles. It's like, it's got good flavor to it. It has a good kick. There is that little bit of sour and some bitterness there. But man, I was shocked that Prosecco, like, to kind of have it after the fact, how really just kind of like a palate cleanser. And it actually makes you anticipate your next drink, the next sip, that much more. Mm-hmm. That's what I was really shocked by. Like, I really wanted more of the passion fruit after kind of cleansing my palate with the other one. So I just thought the combination was really interesting. So great flavor in the drink. My initial thoughts was like, oh, this is good. I could definitely sip on this. Then when I kind of took a little bit of the Prosecco, I was like, oh, okay. I want more. I want more. So
it's almost like it made you want more of the, I want that sweetness again.
Yeah. It's a dangerous, I understand why it's served that way. Because it's like kind of a dangerous combination. Like after I took the sip, I kind of want the other one. And then I cleanse my palate and I want a little bit more of the other one. So it is kind of a good back and forth for sure. Yeah.
The passion fruit itself is just overly sweet. In general, like if you have too much of it, it's going to be like, that's a lot of sugar.
Yes.
So the Prosecco really lightens your palate back up. It's like, I'm fine.
Yeah. But like even with the kind of the cinnamon note and on the tail end, like after you finish like at first you're getting a little bit of that you're really getting that sweetness right off the bat, right? But then there's that little heat that kind of tails in at the end. Yeah. So like it's kind of really, really well balanced, but then again, having that Prosecco to kind of like wash everything out and kind of like make you anticipate your next sip was dope. So it's a dope combination. It's definitely something I'd look into again for sure.
And obviously I'm not a professional by any means. So big shout out. I had this idea almost exactly like this, except for my proportions. I was like, I'm still working on the ratios and what should I do? And I was sitting at the Courtesy by myself. Yeah. Because I just stopped in one night after visiting, going to Midnight Fables Cabaret show.
Dope.
On my way home, I was like, I'm still awake. Let me stop at the Courtesy, say what's up. Mm-hmm. And as I'm sitting there, he's like, I told him, I was like, I'm working on the recipe. I don't know. What are your thoughts? And he looks at it. He's like, I like this. Do you mind if I mess with some of the ratios? I was like, yeah, sure. Like, you're the expert. You would know what would make sense. And he kind of messed with it. So it's still my recipe, but he saved me the time of having to workshop. Yeah. Like, hey, put 1 ounce instead of 1.5, put 1.75 ounce. He's like, mess with it still. I still tweaked like the lime juice. I still tweaked the puree and all that.
Yeah.
But he helped me workshop it. So big shout out to Billy Maskers from
Nice.
the Courtesy. So he saw the recipe, he saw the potential, and instead of letting me just flounder around by myself, not an expert,
No. Yeah.
like making 17 versions of this, but he's like, try these ratios. I think it'll make sense. And mess with it. Still mess with it, but he got me much closer to the goal.
Nice, man. You know, that's, again, he's a master in his art. So to kind of help see what you have and kind of just give you a little bit of guidance to head you down the right road. And it worked out well. I really like everything you threw together there. So
yeah,
cheers.
Hopefully by the time that you guys are listening to this, I did win.
Yes.
And if I didn't win, I blame them for having no faith in podcasts.
That's where it stems from.
Never me. It's not my fault. Bastards. But just so we've been catching up, but you want to talk about this is bullshit. Well, a little bit first, let's talk about, since it's the season, what we've been watching, reading, and doing to entertain ourselves. So I'm going to start off a little bit. So I have actually been doing something interesting.
Hit me with it.
I've been audibling a book for self-development. So
okay.
I work in an industry where you might need a little bit of this skill set, but this book is called Emotional Intelligence 2.0. And the reason why I find this book interesting is because it talks about the success of people who are emotionally intelligent and pass tests of like measuring like, hey, you're aware of like how to be empathetic, how to talk to people, how not to take things personally, how to just understand, to take a step back and look at yourself and understand why you feel the way you did about this situation as opposed to a different situation. Are you able to look introspectively and say the reason why I was triggered by this person's statement, even though it might seem irrelevant in the corporate world? Because a lot of this is about corporate, but yes, your social dynamic with your friends.
Sure.
It's about taking that breath, looking at it, it's like, why did that trigger me? Like, or like, have you ever been in a situation where your friends could tell you, go eat a dick, but then a stranger tells you, go eat a dick? There's very simple.
Absolutely.
You have that relationship and that rapport.
Yeah.
As opposed to like, not. That's a very simple thing. It's the same statement.
Yeah.
But
same
he's a stranger.
Yeah.
Should you not just ignore it because it doesn't hold any weight?
Right.
But I just enjoy the fact that it's one of those, it inundates that the people who are much more successful aren't always the people who are the smartest in the room.
You're right.
It's the people who could understand people more.
Understand and control their emotions more.
Understand themselves, understand others, and understand how to leverage, not leverage like to like manipulate, but leverage like understood, like, okay, the reason why you're angry is because of this.
Sure.
I know now what I'm actually going to be addressing.
Mm-hmm.
Not what you said on the surface.
Right.
What's the underlying concern there? And how can I not take that personally and address you appropriately?
Okay. Has there been a moment in the audiobook? I always call them like moments. Like me, like there will be something that'll just like, that's said whenever I'm listening to an audiobook that will just resonate with me. Like, shit. Okay. Yeah. I see that. What was the moment? The
moment in that book that was trying to understand why one person could trigger you more is because of history.
Okay.
So understanding like, Latinos, we are all traumatic. We have all this trauma. It's like, so there are some people in your life that could just piss you off more. And it's not about what they said. It's the history there. Yeah. It's because your relationship. It's because of stuff that's happened in the past. Like why? Or like, the chain of events that are about to happen. I know you're setting up for some fuck shit. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, they right.
Yeah,
like,
100%.
Yeah, they right.
Yeah.
Like anyone else could just pop up and say the same exact thing. I'm just like, whatever, go fuck off. And like even the simplest shit, someone who you have history with, it's like,
yeah. Well, it's funny. I mean, even in this last episode, we were just talking about
moms.
Our moms, right? So right when you were running through that whole diatribe, I thought about my mom right away. Yeah. Right away. She's the one who kind of like, she'll start down something. I know exactly where she's going. And she thinks she's kind of slick by maneuvering her way. I was like, Ma, I know you. Like, I know where this is going. Yeah. So yeah, she's the one who could kind of get me there quick. So it's hard. It's hard to be cognizant of it and not just, try to be short with it,
But that's why I thought it was so cool. Like the book talks about CEOs and people who were like moved up, like, and we joke, I think as we've gone up in our careers that typically the people in charge of us or the people who are leading us aren't the fucking smartest people. They don't know everything in the room. They don't know what the fuck they're doing half the time for the systems.
Absolutely.
Yes, there's several steps removed from us that they are that it's not as relevant. That's not their skill set. That's why they have a person.
Right.
If they were doing that, they didn't need you.
Right.
But there's a level of the reason why they're successful is they know how to manage themselves and manage everyone else around them emotionally.
Yeah. Yeah.
And speak to like what motivates and drives. And a good leader understands that. And I'm like,
yeah,
hold the fuck up. I like this shit.
Yeah.
I mean,
shit.
I'm like, yeah, I feel that, especially in my career, I'm not a boastful person in a lot of things aside of like, I don't get drunk often, which, and I also have
we'll probably touch on that shortly.
Yeah, and I have a pretty good gauge of like how to manage my own emotions. I might joke around about being angry. I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't really care. It's a bit.
A
good amount of times I'm just like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, whatever. But it's funny.
Yeah.
But so hearing this and kind of understanding that can transfer. And I think that there's also underlying thing for me where it's, you always assume that the person who's made it that high is because they have the most education, they have the most connections, they have the highest skill set. And like, I have to work 5 times as hard to get there. It's like, oh, yeah, but they don't even know how to fucking talk to people. That's why they have people, minions around them. Oh, yeah. Like, okay. Like maybe it's not because they're the best, not because they're the smartest, not because they're the brightest. It's because they've learned how to hear people, understand them, and and work that.
Wow. Okay. So you feel like this is broadening your way of approaching things and better understanding of some of these techniques and your own emotions in those moments and recognizing.
Yeah.
What do you feel what's your biggest takeaway so far?
Yeah. I think that, and I think also that it sucks. How little people have emotional intelligence, and how to have that conversation with someone else about like, hey man, like let's understand this. Like, especially in my current role, like there are times where something seems so just fucking common sense to me. I was like, how did that not seem normal to you? And then I have to like take a step back and realize why they don't see it that way. And that's one thing that stood out. I was like, there's a lot of people who lack that because one, taking a step back and understanding that you have as much of a part in the problem of the situation as the person across the table is tough for people. To a lot of people, it's very hard to say I'm a problem. And I was like taking that like breath and going, oh fuck, I'm an idiot. It's not something people like doing. So
absolutely.
So that is something that I'm benefiting from, like being able to not only realize, but reiterate in my head is like, shit, how can I get that person to understand their part in this problem in a more effective way? Because I could also be a very aggressive person where I'm like, listen, asshole, you are the problem. This is like, take a step, take a breath, understand that they might not have taken that step and breath. So you might have to take a deeper breath for you both.
That's tough, man, because there's a lot of people who lack any self-awareness, or even you're holding the mirror right in front of their face and they just can't see themselves. Oh, no, that's not me. You know what I mean? So like that's really challenging to navigate.
Yeah. And the book is, I'm going to go through it again. I like going through them like once or twice, especially because people say like, oh, you don't capture as much in Audible. I do. Because I listen to it while I'm doing mindless shit, like cutting the grass. Walking the dogs, like shit like that. But I think it's going to help my skill set a little bit there for my career. And I think in personal, it's good to, one of the things that I think a lot of people, I know we're getting fucking real heavy into shit, but I think a lot of people don't always think about the fact that how much of what people stress about when people like say like, oh, I'm having a shitty day. Is it a shitty day or was it 15 minutes that you fucking let linger because you didn't want to let go of it?
You're still holding on to it. Shit that happened this morning.
Shit that happened this morning. You're like, I fucking had a crap day. No, you spilled coffee in your pants. Move on. Shit like there's a lot of things that this basically but also reiterates like, take a step. Like understand, gauge your emotions, figure out, is this really worth it? Is this something I should be getting this emotional about? Like fucking just hold yourself accountable. And I'm like, yeah, that's actually pretty fucking spot on. Like,
that's dope. Yeah, you have to send me that. I'm definitely I'm intrigued by that. It's something I'll probably give it a listen as well. So that's dope.
I like it. But what about you, man? What have you been reading or watching or listening to?
So watching, this is let's stick with reading real quick, just because we're in that zone right now. Right now I'm reading a couple of financial books. So there was one that I was put onto. It's called The Psychology of Money by Morgan. Shoot, I'm blanking on his last name right now. But Psychology of Money is actually one of the best money financial books I've listened to in quite a while. So just, like part of where I'm at right now is just building stuff for the future, kind of stacking things over here, side hustles, businesses, things that I can do.
Morgan Housel.
Morgan Housel, yeah. So, bro, I highly recommend that book. It's one of the best money related books I've ever listened to. Just his concepts, a lot of it's some simple and practical ideas, but just the way he phrases it, he's a great storyteller. So he talks about real life situations that have happened. He talks about things in his own personal life, different strategies. It's a book about money, but it's a book about life. And absolutely loved it. So The Psychology of Money is definitely something I recommend. I did finish that, and through that, through listening to Morgan's book, I was put onto another financial guy. Actually, I sent you something from his podcast. His name is Ramit. So he's got a Netflix show about money, and he's another guy who's just kind of really got it down. He has something called a conscious spending plan, and how you're maximizing your money and where to invest it, being cognizant of where your money is going and all this stuff. So just some financial stuff, just because I'm in that state where I'm just trying to build for what the next thing is, pivot, move, flexibility, right?
Financial freedom. You need that fuck you money.
Yeah, for sure. So I just think it was just getting some other ideas.
Just real quick, for anyone who doesn't know what the fuck you money means, it's not like, hey, fuck you money is I want to have so much money in my account that I can tell someone I don't like or what I don't like in a situation, walk away from it and say, fuck you.
Exactly.
All right, go on.
Yeah, no. So there's power in that, right? Mm-hmm. So just trying to come up with new and different strategies and ways I could better approach it. And both those, I believe Ramit has a book and a podcast. It's on YouTube and all that stuff. And he's got a show on Netflix as well. His book is called I Can Teach You to Be Rich. I Will Teach You to Be Rich. And then Morgan's book, Psychology of Money. Both of those were phenomenal. So I think that's kind of been we're very similar in that we have our entertainment, then we have like self-help, and we have like other areas we want to dive deeper into and get a deeper understanding of. So that's kind of where I am. I think I'm ready for some more entertainment after this. Like I have Shaq's autobiography I've always had like saved in there. So he's like, a big part of my childhood. So like I do want to check that out. So I have that probably next up on the list. He's financially
strong too. Like he's really
super smart, bro. Yeah. He's brilliant. So it's a phenomenal businessman. But beyond that, that's probably all that I'm listening to right now. Well, I will add one thing. The Diary of a CEO. Stephen Bartlett, something like that.
Never heard of that one.
He's phenomenal. So he's had all kinds of interviews for people of all different segments, health and wellness, financial. So both Morgan and Ramit were on his podcast. He's had rappers, Busta Rhymes was on there. Super smart guy, man. He's involved in so many different things. He's just a really entertaining listen. So he's got just really people from all walks of life. Really good interviewer. Him and then other health and wellness things that I'm just kind of continuing to stay with. I kind of talked about that in our last podcast. So that's kind of a lane I'm really heavily into in this year. So just educating myself, but it's not just that. There's so many topics and random things, but it's always a good listen. So that's like in the background, something I will throw on. So I would say definitely peep him.
Good shit.
Beyond that, I would say the thing I'm watching right now that's just kind of a random one that's been around that I didn't expect to start to watch was the show with Martin Short and
Only Murderers in the Building.
Only Murderers in the Building. So
I just started watching that show.
I just started watching it. So I heard about it. With Selena Gomez. It's amazing. I'm like I'm about 3 episodes into season 2. Just burned through season 1 really quickly. I was like, yo, who killed Tim Kono? I was invested. Mm-hmm. But I just love the dynamics. All their chemistry is so good. The story is so smartly written. All their interactions, the way they incorporate real life celebrities into it. And just the way the show is kind of growing, I'm locked in. So
one of the things I really enjoyed about the show is that they genuinely seem like friends.
Yes,
like
100%.
It doesn't seem like a forced relationship. Like it seems like we're going to do the show together. Then they ended up like, I actually fucking like you.
Yeah, 100%.
Like you are actually, I like you.
Yeah, you can't fake the chemistry that's there. Yeah, for sure. So
this is some classic. This is some badass fucking weight to it actors too.
Steve Martin absolutely, absolutely, and they're still brilliant. At this, especially like Martin Short has those moments in the way they bounce off each other.
I love him.
I was like, God, man, this is so good. So I'm heavily locked into that. That's like I can't get enough of that show. So I'm really excited to. I think the 4th season's going on right now.
Yeah, we're watching it. Me and my fiance are watching it right now.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. So like I'll probably catch up. My goal is to probably be done with it like right as the 4th season, season finale ends. Yeah. So hopefully I'm kind of watching that one live, but I'm going heavy into that one right now.
It's a fantastic fucking show for real.
Hell yeah.
But nothing's as good as season 1 ever.
Really?
Almost in anything, man.
Sure. That's fair.
It's hard to. I don't think there's many shows where I've watched season 3 and be like, yo, this is better than season 1 outside of Parks and Rec, because that was a fucking shit show.
Okay.
Yeah. But like, has there been a show that like gets better? Like season 2 of Heroes, maybe? No, season 1 was better.
Yeah, season 1 was better of Heroes. Man, I'm trying to think. Like, I don't know.
I mean, maybe American Horror Story had some better seasons than season 1, but Murder House is always going to be a classic.
The Sopranos,
The Walking Dead, maybe.
Walking Dead, maybe. Well, I don't know. Season 1 of Walking Dead is my favorite.
But Red Handled Machete was a great fucking scene. But that's not a whole season.
Right. Yeah. There's moments that are more that might stick out.
Yeah. With Terminus Cannibals, that was a fucking great scene, but it wasn't the whole fucking season.
Yeah. Yeah. No, there's certain things. I don't know, man. The first seasons are always special. But when I think about The Wire, I really like season 4, whichever one was the educational one. Like the whole school system, all the kids. I think that was season 4. Like that one really stuck out to me. Although I love season 1 and season 3. But yeah, no, I mean, we're talking about the shows we're mentioning are some of the greatest shows of all time. So it's kind of hard to say. There's a level of consistency there.
All right, so I looked up shows that got second seasons or later seasons were better than originals. Some of the ones that they listed aren't fair. So The Simpsons.
Oh,
well, yeah.
Yeah.
Futurama.
Yeah.
Sure. It became more topical, whatever. Like it's supposed to improve.
Yeah.
Parks and Recs gets mentioned. The Office. This is where they actually get it right. Breaking Bad.
Definitely. I think like the final season of Breaking Bad is one of the greatest seasons, and like the way it all came together. And the same with what was the spinoff show that had
Better Call Saul.
Better Call Saul. Like the way that wrapped up, and just masterful storytelling. I absolutely love that.
Yeah. Like they named a couple of like maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. But yeah, Better Call Saul came up on here too. Like as it got later on.
It did get better as it got more into like the Breaking Bad stuff started to become more of a part of this everyday storyline.
The show Barry, but stuff like that. But
that's interesting. Yeah.
I didn't think about all of it. Because shows should get better with age. Sorry, we do this all the time. Guys, we're going to take a very, very quick break before we jump back in. But one of the last shows that I did mention was Black Mirror. I don't necessarily agree because season 2 was great, but when I got to season 4, it was weird. Be right back, guys. Hey guys, while you're listening to the show, we know that you might want to partake in some drinks with us and enjoy in the libations. Here at Bourbon and Bullshit, we ask that you drink responsibly. Don't drink and drive, avoid Amazon one-click buy, and for the love of God, do not text your ex. You do not need that kind of closure. They've moved on, so should you, Joseph. You should stop Facebook stalking. She knows. She knows. Now, all jokes aside, don't do anything dumb, take care of yourselves, and be safe. Thanks, guys. Now back to the show. Hi, guys. We are back after looking up all these shows and seasons of stuff that didn't make any sense of why they got canceled or because how did they get better? So we ran through kind of what we were doing, watching, reading, all that stuff.
Yeah.
I've obviously been an avid gamer, all that stuff, but it's not this kind of show.
Yeah.
As for everyone who used to listen to the Full Frontal Nerdy show, welcome here, guys. Shouts to back then. But now one of my favorite segments in our show, because we get to fuck around a little bit, it's called That's Bullshit. There's something apparently that you've had on your mind that you want to discuss. I was surprised by it. Yeah. But let's talk about it.
No, man. So, I just always found it interesting. Even from listening to episodes of the podcast and even in some of our discussions, just how you enjoy drinking as part of your everyday. Maybe not every day. I don't want to necessarily put that out there, but just the fact that you're enthusiast and that you have never like gotten like drunk, like that's kind of odd for me,
what do you consider drunk?
I mean, like blackout drunk, like can't recall the events of the evening, you know.
I've had brownout moments.
You had some?
I've had brownout moments. By brownout, not like I shit myself. Shouts to Mikey.
Thank you for the clarification.
Shouts to Mikey.
I don't get the reference, but Mikey gets some new trousers. Yes.
He will. But so here's the thing, and I'm going to be very, very clear about there are two instances where I can tell you that I should not have drank that much.
Okay. I have two as well, so it's funny you have two. That's interesting.
In my adult life.
Okay.
Let's count adult life. Because I think it's unfair because as a youngin', you're figuring that shit out.
Yeah, you're learning your limits. You're setting your boundaries.
You're figuring out this is the limit.
Right.
I know where I'm at now. And you're figuring yourself out. But as an adult, I'll say maybe from like 25 to now, the two major times I know that I got drunk. One was on purpose because it was a drinking contest. I'll put them together. We had a yearly drinking contest in my group of friends. This is the stupidest fucking thing I'm going to get into the details because it's the stupidest fucking thing we ever did.
Okay.
We should never have done this. We are not adults enough to fucking make these decisions. I don't know why we did this. This is a horrible idea.
Okay. I'm excited. I'm
sure
to listen to it.
So it started because our buddy Blaine and Mikey and other people was like, I could outdrink you.
That's right off rip. No. Terrible opening statement.
Now, shouts to Blaine. At the time, he was a bigger dude. He's lost over 200 pounds.
Nice.
Praise to him.
Congrats.
Fucking respect. Badass. I'm so proud of him. But there was no real physical way that our group could really have this contest. But he said, fuck it. Let's do it. Like, nah, I could outdrink you, Mikey. You know, shouts to Mikey, always fucking big and will not back down to anything. Richie won't back down to anything. Jesse won't back down to anything.
Yeah.
And we decided one year, the first year was small. It was only 3 people who participated because we all said,
this is an stupid. Annual thing?
This became an annual thing.
Holy shit. Okay. Keep going.
There's, I think, 5 years of it.
Wow. All right.
So the second year was one of the big ones. This is the one I participated in.
Yeah.
So, I'm so mad at it. So, the rules of the game are everyone who participates brings a 750 ml of whatever you want.
Okay.
Now, the game is simple. We are drinking until everyone drops or bows out. And how you bow is by saying I'm a little teapot, short and stout, and fucking on video and get recorded. Or you puke or you pass out.
Wow.
Those are how you were disqualified from the game. But you start the game with something called a douchebag shot, which is 3 or 4 shots in one glass. You start the game like that. And every 15 minutes, we go in order of contestants. They pick their spirit of choice and we drink every 15 minutes or something like that. It was like every 15 or 30 minutes, someone has to drink until everyone stops. That is not okay.
No.
And how we decided how you go is we draw cards. High card goes first.
Okay.
So the douchebag shot got selected by a friend, Ramon. He said, we're doing gin.
Yeah. Oof.
We start the contest with warm gin.
Oh.
Everyone has to do 4 shots of gin.
It's terrible.
And just keep going until people bow out. I ended up in the top 3, but at the time, Justin, I have to tell you that for people who don't know me, I went from 260 pounds down to 185. Down to, at the time, I was 205. So I was still pretty lean, pretty healthy, blah, 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 active. So I had not drank like that in a while. And out of 12 of us, 3 were standing. And I was on the fence.
Somewhat standing.
Standing. I was leaning.
There was a lean going.
Rock with it.
I see you.
I was leaning, and from what people told me, and then years down the line, I met someone at work, and she's like, "I remember you. You're the guy who puke like when you puke, you sound like a bear." I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" She's like, "I was at that stupid drinking contest you and your friends had."
Oh my god.
I'm like, "You were there?" She's like, "Oh, you don't remember?" I was like, "I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about." So it was on purpose. I woke up on a couch and shouts to Amy, a good friend of the group, went and got everyone McDonald's.
Oh, she's a legend.
If it wasn't inappropriate, I would have kissed her right in the mouth. Like, just come here. Like, come here, girl. I was like, you fed me. I will do whatever you want.
Big shout out, Amy. That's amazing.
I was fucking dying. And then the second time was We talked about our health journey where I lost a bunch of weight, disappeared. I didn't drink anymore. I didn't do anything like that.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I'm pretty synonymous with is like, if you come into town, I'm gonna show you a good time. Hey, I want to go out somewhere. I got you. Let's go. Blah, blah, blah. And my group of my friends hit me up. And we had a new employee that came to the company and she's like, oh, I don't know anywhere to go. So I agreed. And at that time, I didn't really care too much about my job. I was like a shift supervisor. I don't really care. Whatever. I'll hang out with the employees. I don't care.
Sure.
We all went out for drinks and it's almost like muscle memory. I started drinking like when I was 60 pounds heavier.
Yeah.
So I'm just drinking, having fun, blah, blah, blah. And then at some point, everyone's like, all right, we're going. Everyone's like, walk everyone to the car. And I get in the car and I brown out. I know I should not be driving.
Yeah.
I know I should not be behind the wheel. I know it was like, fuck, I am. But it's like, but not blackout drunk.
Yeah.
I call a friend.
Yeah.
And I text like 3 friends. One was a girl I shouldn't have texted because she liked me, but I was like,
don't text your ex. You know what I'm saying? Remember.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Why do you think it's a valuable lesson?
I understand it. Yeah.
We here at Bourbon and Bullshit, I am not only a sponsor, I'm also a client. I learned the hard way. So fucked up. Was that I love you. This was a long time before I met you. Yeah. Way before I met you. So then 2 friends show up and they're like, hey, what the fuck are you doing? Like, and I'm like, I can't drive. They're like, well, obviously you called us and told us you couldn't drive. I was like, cool. Can we get Wendy's on the way home? And she's like, what?
You see, okay, I'm glad you mentioned the Wendy's because in my thoughts, it was just like there must be something powerful about the Wendy's spicy chicken. Yeah. Because I've heard you mention you get the Wendy's spicy chicken, you wake up even,
I'm like a king.
Half throwing up, have a bite and go right back to sleep, I
was rocking with it. And she's like, are you serious? Like, I will buy you food too. Yes. I will buy you and your homeboy food because she came with her man.
Okay.
And he knew me too. He's like, gee, you drunk, bro? He's like, I never seen you drunk. I was like, get the fuck in the car. Get in the car.
We need to go.
Can we go? Security already walked by twice. They get me, they bring me home, and I'm like, fucking, like, I just go to work the next day at like 10 a.m. Like nothing happened. Yeah. And the employees are like, oh, it was fun last night. I was like, I couldn't drive. They're like, why didn't you say anything? I was like, it was that moment of like, nope.
Yeah.
If I get in this car, I'm gonna die.
Right.
Well,
good for you that you had the sense enough to be like, this is, I'm not feeling like my normal self. Let me just pull over and
I didn't even start the car.
Oh, good man.
I got in the car.
Yes.
I got in a car. I was like, hold on. Nope. Absolutely the fuck not.
Good man.
I turned on the power to turn off to roll down the windows. And I started making calls. Yeah. And it shouts to all my friends that like I called 4 people. Like I texted people and I called and every single one of them called me back.
Nice.
Now, hey man, you never called us late. Was everything okay? I was like, I can't drive right now.
Yeah.
And everyone who was saying, I'll go there. And my homegirl was like, no, I'm like right up the block. Oh, she lives near downtown. So she was like, I got you. Yeah. And everyone knows I don't call you that night unless it's like a big deal.
There's something. Yeah.
So those are the 2 times.
Okay. But that's not bad. I thought you were superhuman. Everything. No. I mean, your tolerance is still exceptional. It's just the way you always described it. I was like, how could you never have like that moment?
To be clear though, that blackout moment or brownout moment was probably 15 drinks because
that's wild, bro.
Everyone we were with, everyone was like, oh, let's get drinks because we were with like 10 people and everyone was like, oh, this round's on me. This round's on me. And I was the only one not bowing out. Yeah. I was like, no, I'm good. Let's go. Let's go. Not remembering I've lost 60 pounds and a lot of like being a bigger dude's advantage is like the fat.
You can handle more.
I can handle more.
Absolutely.
And I wasn't eating like that either. Like I hadn't been drinking like that either. So like, you fucking like, it's like a fresh baby.
Yeah. That actually brings me to mind because the way you said that.
You said like 2 times. What
everybody had, nobody was bowing out. And now, so the most recent time where I completely blacked out was probably for my 30th birthday. So we had gone downtown and I had a bunch of my friends and a ton of my family and cousins. Everybody met downtown and people were just handing me shots left and right, just handing me shots. So, which is actually my preferred way of drinking. Like, I don't like to, the way I took that one shit earlier. But yeah, I don't like to be, sipping on a drink all night because, I don't want to be hitting the bathroom all night. Like I want to get to where I need to get to, just feel nice and be good. Right. And just,
you're about
just
the
vibe
destination,
out.
not the journey.
Yeah. Like give me the shots. I want to feel nice. I want to feel good. And we could keep it moving. I want to be drinking on something all night. Right. So that's my preferred whenever I'm drinking. But in this particular instance, it was my birthday and we were rolling deep and everybody bought me shots. Like, and literally I went to, yo, they're here. And that came up. They handed me a shot. Boom. Took it back. And I just kept taking shots. Boom, 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 boom. Like very quick, back to back in a very short amount of time. And then next thing I know, I woke up at my brother's house. And I was just like, don't remember shit from the night. My boys still send me random pictures from that night, like me passed out on a random seat downtown. Apparently it was a really great night, but I know we went bar hopping a lot, and I don't remember much after that. So that was the most recent time, and that was like the worst. I mean, next morning throwing up, like head pounding, like just like really bad. I mean, I don't even know how many shots I took, honestly. I remember being handed at least 6 within like 45 minutes, you know.
The dumbest thing, Justin, so you met me too late in life.
Okay.
I think you would have enjoyed me in my early 20s.
All right.
So I would throw random parties in my house. I would do random theme parties because my dumbass, my ADHD fucking bored ass has to come up with a creative party. I can't just have people over. I'm like, yeah, we're doing a thing. Everything's a theme.
Nice.
I had a PJ soiree one time. I had a PJ soiree at the house. Everyone had to be in pajamas.
I like it.
With pillows, and we put down mattresses, and it was going to be a big pillow fort and everything like that. It was a great party. Fucking top tier.
Sounds legendary. Yes.
We had a 7 Deadly Sins party twice. The most recent, the adult version, like the adult, not like fucking sex toys. I mean, like the grown ass person version. I have adult money now.
Yeah.
Not like adult industry money. I mean, feet pictures. If you need them, let me know.
You're going down a dark path. Just keep it moving.
I keep moving.
Yeah.
Damn, I got fucking in a rabbit hole there.
Yeah, you did.
But one time it was my birthday, and I think I was like turning 26. And because of lack of a better fucking theme, I said, by the end of the night, I want to take 26 drinks.
Jesus.
And
terrible idea.
And the girl I was dating at the time, she was like, the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
And I was like, I think I could do it. If a party lasts 4 hours, 26 drinks is easy.
Yeah.
She's like, you're fucking an idiot. You're an idiot. What am I going to do? I'm like, I'll be fine. We'll do this. We got this. Yeah. Like I fucking like try to rile her up. Yeah. And I told people, everyone who came in, I have to take a drink with you. Oh, drink or shot of your choice. And I did it. Gosh, yeah. I fucking got the 32 shots. Or 32 ridiculous. Drinks, not shots, drinks.
Yeah.
Beers, something. Right. It was never some form over 4 or 5 hour window.
Wow.
I got like 32 drinks in. And I remember the next day still being drunk.
Oh, shit.
Like I went to sleep so late. It was like a cat nap where it wasn't like I didn't have enough time to be hungover.
Right.
I still was like, am I drunk?
Yeah.
Am I going to work?
Yeah.
Like, am I still buzzed?
What's supposed to go? What's the date time? Yeah. Let's walk through this.
Like, the fuck?
Yeah.
It was, when you're young and you feel like you're untouchable. You're like, I could go to work anyway. It's fine. I don't need to take the next day off.
Yeah.
Fuck me, man. Yeah. Now I'm at the age where like hangover is more recovery time than minor surgery.
Right. Yeah, it doesn't take much.
Hey, I drank Friday, man. It's Tuesday. How are you still?
Just getting it together. We're good.
Yeah. Second time. What's the second time you got really fucked?
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned house parties. That was the second time. I was probably like 19, 20. And
you were 19 to 20 years old. Not that it was in 1920.
No.
I know that doesn't make sense.
I mean, I still have a colonial white wig at the house. I have to have options.
I know how you said it. I was like, your skin regimen must be fantastic.
My skin regimen is fantastic. Stay hydrated. Collagen. That's the thing. That's the thing, my guy. I'll put you on. I'll send you some links.
Deals with the devil. That's what I just.
But I was like, it was. I was like,
vampirism?
I was like 20. I was like 20 years old, somewhere in that time frame. Because I remember I was still living with my parents at that time. And I moved out when I was 21. And there was a house party that we were headed to. My boy was throwing a party. And prior to going there, we had stopped by Taco Bell. So yeah, that's part of the story.
Oh my god, that's not gonna turn out well.
They have the big ass Taco Bell. Well, I ate a lot of food, but beyond that, the cup is just like massive, right?
Yeah.
So then we go to exactly, right? We go to the house party, and it's one of those young house parties. We don't got a lot of cups. All right, so you used to use the Taco Bell cup, right? I still got it with me. Let's do it. And they had like Hennessy. And to this day, I cannot smell Hennessy. Even if like I touch the bottle, I get a chill down my butt. It's terrible.
Chill down your what?
Down my spine. Yeah, I think. It was wild. I can't even smell Hennessy. But anyway, so we're there and we're just mixing drinks because that's what we have because we're kids. And broke. And there was a friend of mine, this girl that was there, and they were like giving her heavy pressure to drink. And I had my drink, and she didn't want to drink clearly. And I was just like, me being the nice guy that I am. It's like, oh, yo, let's, I was like, yo, just pour some of your drink into my big ass Taco Bell cup. So I just kept taking this Hennessy, just drinking it. I was just drinking constantly. And then, that was a terrible idea because I don't remember much more after that. I can tell you what I do remember. I can remember they put on some fresh beats, like they just threw on some instrumentals, and people started freestyling. So then I needed to jump in the cypher and I needed to freestyle. So like I start rapping, but what I'm rapping about, G, is about everything that's happening around me. So, like that same girl earlier that poured her drink into my cup, I'm now rapping about how her chest is out, and I'm just like, yo, I'm still rhyming, and then just like, yo, but them titties is out, just something crazy. I don't know what I'm thinking. I'm inebriated. It's not a good situation. So everybody's cracking up because I'm just rhyming about everything that I'm seeing next to me. Legit stand on my man's coffee table in the middle of his living room, and I'm rhyming about how I'm on the coffee table, and then all of a sudden I collapse to the floor, like off the coffee table, and then I just fall. And then everybody's looking at me, and then I get up, yo, I just fell, but it's so good, I'm gonna keep rhyming. So I was rhyming. So everybody's like, what is wrong with this guy? So they put on the instrumentals, they did it to themselves. They knew I was gonna freestyle if they do that. So apparently that was a thing. Then I pass out at some point, and then they have to put on my shoes because I can't function. I'm just done. I'm just dead in the water. This is way too much to drink. Yeah. And apparently when they're putting on my shoes, my sister-in-law is there trying to help me, and apparently Taco Bell caught up to me, and I'm just ripping farts in front of the whole party, and it's not a good situation. And everybody's like, "Bro, what the hell is going on?" Just violating left and right. It's terrible. They take me downstairs. They throw me in the back seat, no seatbelt. They just throw me in the back seat. And my brother said the whole ride home, they're just making turns, and all I hear is like I'm just sliding in. They make a right turn. Like I got bruises on my shoulders. Like the next morning wasn't great. So we finally pull up to my house, and it's like 3-4 in the morning. And my brother and my boy are trying to help me carry me to the front door. As we're doing so, my brother drops his keys like in the grass, like in front of the house, and it's just can't see the keys. He's like, "The fuck! I dropped the keys. Where's the keys? Where is that?" And he's looking everywhere. And apparently, he said my head was looking, eyes closed, looking up, and I'm pointing just exactly where the keys are. He's like, you weren't even looking at the keys, but your eyes were closed and you were looking like up, and you were just pointing to exactly where they were. So he grabs the keys. He brings me in the house, and he's like walking me through. And then my pops happens to be up at 3-4 in the morning in the kitchen. He's just like sitting there in his boxers, like looking at a calendar apparently. And apparently I'm like, "Hey, Pops, what's going on?" Like just, and my brother's just laughing at this point. He's like, "This is ridiculous." And my dad's just like, "Oh, yeah, you boys had something to drink, huh?" He's like, "Oh yeah, maybe just a little bit, maybe just a little bit." And he walks me to my room and like throws me in my bed, and they had tied my shoes on me because I couldn't get them on, and I couldn't kick them off. So I'm just trying to kick them. I'm just like, "Man, these fuckers are tight." My brother said I just kept cussing about my shoes. What the fuck? Yeah, and it was a whole scene. And the next morning, I just woke up, and he pops his head into the room, and I just woke up suddenly. Like, how did I get here? I had no idea. I don't remember anything. The only thing I remember last was the freestyling and the beats. He pops his head and he's looking at me, and he's just like, "Boy, did you have a night?" And then the next day was just like the phone calls flooding in from all my peoples. But yeah, I don't remember much of that at all.
Was that girl mad at you, by the way?
Nah, she was appreciative, but in the moment, I don't know. It was just what I was seeing in front of me in my drunken state, and I was just like freestyling about her chest. It was terrible. But yeah, those were the two times I was completely blacked out, that I don't remember shit. And I suffered for it the next day for sure. So. Yeah, man, that's it. I learned from the 30th birthday, and it sounds like it's good to know that you actually had some moments, because I thought you were some sort of cyborg. I didn't know what was going on.
No. There's also like the aspect of it. Like I like to be in control of my, like I tend to be like the protector around everyone. Like,
Same.
shouts to John Estrada for never wanting to drive because he fucking hates driving. So guess who always has to drive and make sure that he's sober to drive?
Yeah.
Me.
Yeah.
Shouts to one of my best friends, Amanda. I was just at her wedding. She could barely fucking see at night and refuses to put on her glasses. So I'm not going to trust her driving anywhere.
Yeah.
So, and like, I was just always the type of dude that I want to make sure everyone else was good.
Yeah.
So I would drink. It wasn't like I was avoiding drinking, but I was always able to manage, like, I knew where that line was.
Sure.
And I'm just like, yeah. I'm gonna stay here.
Yeah.
But then there are nights that like I would push it and push it and push it. And I'm gonna be honest, like I pretty sure I built up such a high tolerance. Like look at the shit we drink. Like, and I'm not relatively impacted by it, but I'm also the type of person that like, if I know I'm gonna be, I prepare.
Yeah.
Shouts to Wendy's, it's a big staple.
Spicy
chicken nuggets, spicy chicken sandwich.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor, but shit, if you want to fuck around, I got you. You don't even need to fucking pay me. Give me fucking
just pay me in spicy chicken.
Spicy chicken nuggets. Yeah. Once a week. That's one
just a delivery. I got I need you to sign for these nuggets, G.
I would do that in a heartbeat. That's a bad deal, and I know it is, but I want it.
I am mad at you.
But like more often than not, I would plan my drunken nights because it's a little bit of a control freak in me. Like, I'm not like not about everyone else, but about me. Right. Like, I needed to know that I was going to be safe. The people around me were safe.
Yeah, I feel that.
One of the things that like it's a weird thing that when my fiance started dating me that she realized I do, and then even my friend like Estrada will tell you, I don't stay till let out of clubs.
Oh yeah.
I leave at 1:30.
Yeah, it's usually a smart thing to do.
Less drunk drivers, less police, less issues. Shorter line at Wendy's.
Let me get in quick. We get the nugs fresh right around 1 to 1:30 time frame.
Yeah, I avoid problems because I know like those patterns. Like I pay enough. Like I just try to always be like nah.
Yeah.
But if I'm home, like I'll drink until like it's dumb. Like you'll hear me rambling about shit. That there's a full stream where I'm like, we're playing a video game. It's like, oh, you have and the character in the screen has a flashlight in its hand. They're like, gee, you have a flashlight. I was like. I'm in the camera. You see me look at my hands. No, I don't. And they're like, jackass, your character.
In the game.
So it's not like I don't get drunk. I just don't get blacked out. I never get browned out. Like I don't get to the point where like I can't function the next day.
I feel you. So, okay. Yeah. I'm similar in this. I want to be in control. Like if it's a house party and I'm with family or close friends, then, I'll let loose a little bit more. Right. But if I'm out in the elements, I'm with people and I'm with my people. I want to make sure they're good. I want to make sure we're good.
Yeah.
So I'm usually kind of monitoring that too. Yeah. So because I don't need like to.
Or there has to be someone I trust.
Right. Yeah. I need to be around people that I'm comfortable being that person, like to minimize my drinking just to make sure everybody else is good.
Perfect example. My good friend Norby, we went to New Orleans as a group, me, him, Kevin, Jesse. And when I list those four guys, those three guys, there's probably not many other people I think are more responsible than those three. Yeah, I could wild out.
Yeah.
I could wild out. But it almost felt like we knew like it's this person's turn to wild out. And this person's turn to wild out.
That's cool.
Like Jesse, one time when we went as a bachelor party, he's like, guys, don't get drunk and don't throw up in Bourbon Street in New Orleans because there's cops everywhere, blah, blah. Jesse threw up at Bourbon Street. A giant pink daiquiri just fucking everywhere. And we're all like, motherfucker. Well, there was like 12 of us. So we knew someone would be the responsible party.
Yeah.
But it's like when you're around those kind of people, you can wild out and not worry about it. But for the most part, I always liked being stable. If you're at a party in my house and I'm the drunkest, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Like that's a problem.
I feel you. Good shit.
But yeah, don't drink and drive. Don't text your ex. Trust me, it's not the greatest idea because that was a very awkward conversation the next morning. This is, that's bonus feature conversation where my fiance can't hear. Listen, so guys, we're going to go ahead and get into our actual topic that I wanted to talk about today. We talked a little bit about football. Yes, we've been 48 minutes into the show and you're like, these motherfuckers just keep going. Bonus features, mind your business. So, so we've been talking a lot about celebrities and athletes and all this stuff. And one of the things, especially when it comes to the world of whiskey and how we were going to connect this is I wanted to try, recently I've been seeing a big influx of like athletes getting into spirits and whiskeys and stuff like that.
Right.
Did you know Steph Curry has a whiskey?
I did not know.
Yeah. He has, I'm going to look up the name because I actually moved away from it because I thought it was weird.
Good for him.
We'll find it. He is shit. You were just on the screen. Well, we know, I'll skip that. I'll come back to it. Bespoken Spirits by Derek Jeter. He also has a spirit line.
Wow.
We knew about Terramana. We knew about Dwayne Wade. He has wine cellar.
Yes.
Wade Cellars wines.
50 Cent has his own spirits, doesn't he? And I think he's got like partnerships with Barclays. He's got like big spirit deals, with full arenas.
Yep. One of the ones that I thought was great, but I don't know enough about soccer. It's a spirit called No Fucks Given.
Oh, wow.
No, Fox is Christian Fox. Fuchs.
Oh,
He's a soccer star. No Fox Given spirits. Okay. Is an English Premier League. It's distilled in England. More than a brand, it's lifestyle choices, mentality, but yeah, whatever. I just love the fucking name of the spirit.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know about Conor McGregor and Proper 12, that shitty spirit. Do you know Charles Woodson, former NFL star, has a Woodson bourbon whiskey?
Oh, no, I did not know.
Yeah, passion he brings to the winemaking. He also makes wine. Apparently he also makes wine. It is his craft spirit line by finishing all spirits in the same French oak wine barrels used in the winemaking process to make his Charles Woodson Wines Napa Valley Cabernet Sauvignon. He also uses it for his whiskey. Those same barrels. Wild, right?
Yeah. No, I mean, it is. I mean, you mentioned Shannon Sharp earlier, and he's got his own cognac or something. So it's extremely popular. Like, so I wonder how that is shopped to these athletes.
Steph Curry's whiskey is called Gentleman's Cut.
Okay, yeah, I do remember hearing that. Yeah, now that you mentioned it, you mentioned the name of the liqueur. So,
Yeah, we don't know about Shannon Sharp because he enjoyed his cognac.
Yeah,
but I think that was also a brilliant move, right? Like if you're thinking about like, hey, who should I partner with? This man will, Uncle Shay will pop up and pull up the Hennessy and shit like that. People are like, yeah, let's make you something.
Yeah.
That was natural.
Yeah.
Same thing Marshawn Lynch from back in the day when he just pops 2 or 3 Skittles during the game. People are like, he got a fucking Skittles locker sent to him. Like I think these spirit brands understand to an extent, but I find it wild. Like Carmelo Anthony has a wine.
Yes. Yeah, I do. I think I did see
that. It's called Vin, VIIN, the 7th Estate wine.
Well, that whole group is very close knit. Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony, they were all in the same draft class, and they're all like best friends. So I can see how they would all kind of like have mutual interest in kind of, sharing business ideas with each other. So
yeah, exactly. And then we talked about Jordan and his really expensive tequila.
Yeah, he's got everything.
We talked about Peyton Manning and his whiskey.
He's another one who has everything. Talk about 2, all-time greats that
Terry Bradshaw has a whiskey.
Yeah. Damn. Okay. I was not aware of him.
Yeah. So it's wild. I think it's just really interesting because we're big sports fans.
Yeah, absolutely.
And in a previous episode, we talked about how like the world after sports and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So wanted to bring in the whiskey while we talk about a little bit of the other aspects of the NFL and sports.
Okay.
So today we are drinking 2 of my favorite NFL players, but not. I couldn't ever say it out loud because I'm a Ravens fan and they've never played for us. One was a Steeler for a long time.
Yeah.
But the Pouncey twins, former NFL All-Pro Mike and Marquis Pouncey, they actually own a distillery.
Oh, wow.
And whiskey wasn't their first spirit. Oh. So they own a distillery called the Tropical Distillery, and its mission is to be recognized as Miami's distillery, known for crafting high-quality spirits and capture the essence of Florida. So right here, local in Florida. They have multiple liqueurs. So one, they have an orange liqueur, an espresso liqueur, and I think what is this one? Ooh, okay. A mango liqueur as well. It comes under the brand JF Haddon's. So something that you could use as a mixer, and we're figuring it out to make cocktails and all this stuff. But today we're going to be drinking Twin Pea whiskey. It's an 80 proof. I've never tried this.
Okay.
So you and I are going to be trying this for the first time ever, and I look up what the fuck is in this.
Tropicaldistillery.com.
Tropicaldistillery.com. And I did not realize that they owned a whole fucking distillery until I started looking deeper into it.
Interesting.
And shouts to Crystal, a good friend and a listener to the show. She's been always a big supporter of the show. She's the one who's like, hey, did you know that the Pouncey brothers made whiskey? I was like, I did not. She's like, Publix has a BOGO.
Fucking coming in with swooping in with the deals.
Bro,
I like it.
Big shout outs to Crystal. I appreciate her and adore her. Her and Philly have been great. So this is age 53 months. They talk about, it's a small batch. It says drink local, crafted in the United States. So, and they share a bunch of recipes. So looking forward to trying it. Don't know what to expect, but we talked about celebrities and all that shit. So cheers.
Cheers, brother.
To the Pouncey brothers, even though they were never Ravens. So I don't know.
I'm kind of indifferent about it. It's not really anything.
Yeah, let me drink some water.
Yeah.
I want to like this one.
Yeah.
I want to, but
there's nothing memorable about this.
nope. John
Right.
Cena has an old fashioned brand.
Oh, that's yeah. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
nothing.
Nah, man.
This is
This ain't the one.
yeah, it's very basic.
This ain't the one.
It's almost like it is, it's almost like it it's like a cologne, like watered down, like an imitation brand cologne that has a similar scent to the main cologne
Look, man,
or perfume. This tastes like some imitation
whiskey. It ain't for me.
that is just, it's like, okay, it has hints, kind of tastes like whiskey, but none of the other.
God damn it.
Yeah, it's kind of like watered down.
I really wanted to like this. I don't.
It's weird.
It's not
There's
for me.
really nothing there. There's
Yeah.
really nothing there. There's nothing to really speak to it. I mean, it's just kind of tastes like whiskey, but there's no.
So it's only age 53 months. They're still new in the game, so there might be a bright future ahead.
Not for this one.
But not with this current move, and maybe that's why they started with liqueurs. I am not the biggest fan, and I hate to say it that way because I was really hoping it would be good.
Yeah.
I was really hoping to not have to say the next sentence out loud.
Well, even the way it's bottled, it looks like it's like a mixed drink. Like even in the back, they have like mint and lemons in this thing, and so maybe it's meant to be more of a mixing whiskey. Taking it straight is just there's really nothing there.
So it's won a bunch of. It's placed really high in awards too.
Why are all these?
Well, here's the thing.
How many damn whiskey? I mean,
well, so that's what I was going to tell you.
Yeah,
we're about to get into that.
Uh-huh.
So like, I could fucking make my own award.
Okay.
I can say the Bourbon and
that makes
Bullshit
sense.
Bourbon Award.
Yeah.
I can make Bourbon
Let's
BSL.
make one, bro.
I might have to do that.
Nice.
So this one won a bartender double gold spirits award.
Mm-hmm.
Bartender gold 90 to 95 points. So maybe it was made for like mixing.
Okay. Because I could see that.
But
at least you get like the. I don't think you're really getting the strength of the alcohol content, but maybe just some of that flavor, some of those notes.
Yeah, I can't.
I don't know, man.
I can't.
Yeah, there's nothing there, man. Yeah, this is probably the most bland whiskey I've ever had.
Yeah, it's underwhelming.
Yeah.
Fuck. The next sentence I never wanted to say out loud.
Yeah. Hit me with it.
I like Sir Davis more than this.
Oh, I know that hurts your heart. That cuts you deep.
But facts are facts.
Yeah, no, for sure. Sir Davis is see that. So that was a mild whiskey that has some oomph and some flavor, and you could tell its quality.
Yeah,
you're not getting any of that from this.
This feels like, hey, we distilled the whiskey, guys.
Yeah,
like everyone's like, hey, we finally did it. We're like, we've been doing all these everything else on the way.
Yeah,
and just some things aren't for everyone. Like,
no doubt.
Yeah, so hopefully they get it to. I don't know. I'm not an expert.
Mm-hmm.
Look, for each your own. Someone else is going to run around and say this is great. You're going to find some profiles as a casual because I'm still a filthy casual.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't for me.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
It ain't for me. But recently want to talk about like shit that sucks. I'm so mad at this because I'm a big.
You're hyped about this one.
Well, because I like the Pouncey brothers.
Yeah,
they're fucking awesome dudes.
They're dope. Yeah.
Like they're dope. I like everything about them. I like everything they do. When they put their names on some shit, I even like their transformation, which is going to lead into our next topic. Like once they left the NFL, they each lost like 150 pounds. Like they all look completely unrecognizable.
Yeah. Good for them.
Because like it's
it almost goes the opposite direction with almost every athlete, but especially NFL.
But because they're linemen,
right.
Like a lot of linemen, when they are they're still keeping the work up, but they're not having to keep the bulk,
right?
Because you need to be that big, to actually fucking keep up blocks and keep up other block of the defenders or fucking open up open up holes of urine on the offensive linemen.
Mm-hmm.
And they look completely transformed after the NFL. But fuck, man. They should.
Yeah, that's disappointing.
That's really, really fucking sad.
Mm-hmm.
Well, moving forward. Shit, that sucks. God damn it. Sarah Davis was not supposed to win, Pouncey's.
Yes.
God damn it. So one of the things that I've been like, I think is really cool when we talk about NFL and athletes and all that shit is a show I've loved every year is like the Hard Knock show. And all that. You've been watching that?
The Chicago one this season?
Because they had the preseason. They're doing an in-season one coming up.
Okay, yeah. I didn't see the off-season one with the Giants. I did not watch that one. So I saw like clips of it. Like some of the... It seems like they really fucked up as an organization with a lot of the shit they were doing. But I did see... I didn't finish the Bears one, but I saw like the first 3 episodes.
Yeah.
And who's the team that's going to be the midseason one this year?
So that's where it's cool. It's a division.
Oh,
so they're doing the Ravens,
dope.
the Browns, the Bengals, and the Steelers.
Oh, I would tune into that shit.
Yeah,
that's fucking, especially that division.
Yeah,
Cleveland's a disaster.
The Ravens are up and coming.
Are thriving.
Steelers have that QB
Steelers
drama.
are always and then Cincy's on the come up. So
yeah,
they're really playing well now. So that's dope. That's smart.
Yeah, man. I love fucking one thing so I'll real quick on the Giants one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was such a great idea for me to know about for people to show us what it goes to go into the draft.
Yeah.
And like what the process is and what behind the scenes is. And because you're always wondering and hyping up for draft day. Yeah. And what that process is. I just wish they picked a better run organization.
Yeah, for sure. Well, just real quick, just because we're both fans, what was the Malik Neighbors draft day like? Was there discussion behind the scenes or they knew they were going to go with him 100%?
They were trying to go first QB.
Oh, really? And so they were looking at drafting QB with all the money they gave Daniel Jones.
They were thinking of drafting QB because what they were saying was that the health of Daniel Jones was in question. The knee, he's coming off the ACL tear. Let's have someone who can learn the system because that is still in question.
Wow.
And like, let's see what we can get. And the QBs they were looking at weren't there when they got to them. Mm-hmm. And they're like, all right, let's get him a weapon.
Okay.
But Neighbors was almost always their top choice. Obviously, Marvin Harrison's up there.
Yeah, of course.
But they didn't think he would go to them. But Neighbors was their top choice outside of Marvin Harrison.
Yeah.
It was Neighbors and they really liked Rome Odunze.
Okay.
But
they made the right choice.
Yeah. By far. Yeah. I mean, Rome is also product of the system.
They're so young, bro. Yeah. These kids, they're kids, man.
Yeah,
so.
and say what we can or will about Daniel Jones. He's also been in the league longer than Caleb, obviously.
True.
So there's still things are ironing out, but like if Rome was not also a product of a brand new offense, because other than DJ Moore, you have Keenan Allen, Caleb Williams, and him, like, and a new head coach. Well, not really, new owner or whatever, GM, whatever the fuck they were doing.
Yeah,
it's GM, not owner. GM. He might have had more success where Daniel Jones and them had a little bit more of an established system, and you could just throw them in like Neighbors all day.
Yeah.
But the show itself, I know that people who are listening might not necessarily like the sports aspect of it.
Right.
But the drama and the bullshit that happens behind the scenes is always fucking fun. Like that human aspect connecting to those players and the people. They're not a number anymore. I like seeing that. And I like the business aspect. Bro, like they're sitting there when you said that they fucked up. The owner said, I really want to keep Saquon. He kept saying, he's like, I don't know how I'm going to live with myself if we lose Saquon. He said it multiple times. He's like, I don't know what we got to get done, but I want to keep Saquon. And the GM was like, oh, I think, there's a lot of options out there. He's like,
the owner was saying that?
The owner was saying he wanted to keep Saquon. He kept saying, I really want Saquon on his team. Saquon's like a son to me.
Man, he's the boss, bro. You tell the GM and make it happen.
Yeah.
Or cut the check because Saquon would have stayed if they gave him the right money.
Yep. He said it multiple times.
Jesus. That's a shame. And look what he's doing in Philly.
Yeah, and even you hear him say, he's like, hey, let's find out. What's fair to you is let's test the market, see what you're worth, and we'll match it. Let's see if we can come back to match it. And they called him and told him a number. He's like, yeah, we can't go that high. He's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's sad.
And Saquon later on in an interview was like, yeah, the moment he said, yeah, go test the market and we'll see what you're worth, I knew it was done. He said, I knew it was done because one, you should know my value.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And two, like I want to stay. I'm telling you actively, I want to stay here, but I want to get paid.
Right.
And they just it was some fuck shit.
That's what I remember here. I didn't watch it, but I just, following through different podcasts and, staying up with sports. I remember hearing what a disaster. Oh, the Giants, what a disaster that is being broadcast in front of the world about how inept they are as an organization. So,
and that's a shitty thing that like, I think multiple analysts, even like the fantasy footballers, I love them.
Yeah.
They were like, it's funny how draft day feels like I could do this.
Yes. I have no doubts they would have made better decisions.
They're like, I feel like we do the same amount of analytics and all that stuff. Maybe the financial aspect of it might not have been something that we would have been keen on, but draft day, I think I could have drafted a really solid squad.
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, I think there's value in that show. I mean, HBO that really always has like really high, production value. The show is always really interesting. I love the idea of doing a division. I think that's going to be dope. I like the way they kind of featured the Bears and the new number 1 pick with the rookie Caleb. So, man, it's already been a great new season. I'm curious to see what the divisional thing. I think that's a nice fresh approach because I think there's been a little bit of burnout on that show. Some people don't necessarily tune in, but or have just gotten what they can get from it and don't really have I guess the ratings dropped throughout the season is what I was hearing or reading. So I'm interested to see what they do. I think a fresh approach would be good. But it's been a good season so far.
So one of the things that they kept picking teams that in advance you thought this is going to be really controversial. This is going to be great. Blah blah. Dallas Cowboys. Blah blah. They keep picking these teams like this is going to be perfect for like everything, and then it just. They can't predict what teams are going to make bad decisions.
Yeah.
They can't predict like what teams are going to have a great camp. And there's also that show on Netflix, The Quarterback, where they were following around all those quarterbacks and then they followed receivers, which was fucking great.
Oh, I haven't watched that yet.
You didn't watch receiver?
No, but Devontae Adams and who else they got? Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Justin Jefferson.
Oh, okay.
Amon-Ra St. Brown and George Kittle and Deebo Samuel.
Bro, it's like all the best.
Yeah.
So that's dope.
So you got to see like how frustrated Devontae Adams was the whole time.
I can imagine.
You get to see how like Jay Jettas was like, nah, I'm trying to play. I'm not fucking faking being hurt. I'm not trying to sit out.
Yeah.
And you see George Kittle's personality, like why everyone loves him.
Yeah.
And you can see Deebo, why everyone loves him.
That's dope.
So it was,
okay, I'm about to check it out then.
Yeah. But I think that's cool about it is that now we have so much more access to these athletes and being able to see their real life and not just judge them on what we see on screen.
Yeah.
Because there is a certain level that we don't get it all the time. Like you have to think you're the shit.
Yeah.
Like you have to think, if I go out there with an ounce of not being confident, I'm going to get eaten alive.
Bro, you're competing at the highest level there with the top athletes that are bigger, stronger, faster than they've ever been. So you have to be confident. You have to be
cocky.
You have to be cocky. You have to execute at the highest level, and you have to be diligent in your craft because that's how you get hurt. Like that sport, you don't mess around.
Yeah. Like Amon-Ra, like you find out about his work ethic, his family, his dad being a former Mr. Olympia, his mom teaching him German from like, he's like every day you have to practice German.
I love his story, bro. He's legit.
Yeah. And one of my favorite things is I will always bring it up. And this isn't new information that he remembered every person that was drafted, every receiver that was drafted before him.
Yeah.
And how like, and he just keeps that in mind. He's like, there were these many receivers and that's how many mistakes you guys made.
Yeah. No, I love that.
And I think he's still one of the highest, he got paid more than almost any of those receivers currently.
Yes.
Some made sense. Like I think Jamar Chase was in that same draft class. Cool.
Absolutely.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
He's a monster, but arguably I would say Amon-Ra has been more successful. And I know that sounds asinine, but like he's avoided more injuries. He's been statistically better this year, statistically better last year.
Yeah. The thing is
different styles.
Very different styles, very different receivers, but he's quality and he's solid and he's consistent. Probably Jamar a little more talented as a whole.
Yeah, he's
but like more explosive.
He's physically built different.
Yeah, he's I mean they're both great talents, but I think I love his mentality. I think you take Amon-Ra's mentality and put him in the physical gifts of Jamar Chase, and he's that much better.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And I always think about that, especially like with like in basketball or in boxing. Like if you take Michael Jordan's mindset and put it in LeBron James. I mean, that is the ultimate. I know there's going to be LeBron James fans that hear that and be like, oh my God, he's already the greatest. What do you mean? But like if he had the cutthroat mentality of like a Kobe or a Michael, I mean, it'd be I mean, he would have dominated. He did dominate for a majority of his career, and he's still playing at an exceptionally high level. But he'd be unbeatable. He would have all the rings. He'd have 12, 13 rings right now, if he had that kind of mentality that they did.
Are you ready?
Yep.
All the receivers that were drafted before Amon-Ra.
You're going to go through them? Yes.
Just real quick. Only for skip ahead 25 seconds if you think that this is boring to you. Jamar Chase, Jalen Waddle, Devontae Smith. Cool.
Okay.
I would put him above Jaden, Waddle.
I would put him above Waddle. Devontae, I think they're on the same level. Well, I like Amon-Ra more, but I think talent-wise, they're very comparable.
Kadarius Toney.
Oh, yeah, that's a shame. Yeah, he's not even in the league anymore.
Yeah, he was drafted by the Giants and traded on his second year.
Yeah.
Rashad Bateman. That hurts me.
Yeah, I'm sure that does. Oh man, you could add Amon-Ra right there.
Yeah. Elijah Moore.
Oh yeah.
Rondo Moore.
Who
was Rondo?
Oh yeah,
Moore from Cardinals.
Yeah, Cardinals. Yeah.
Dwayne Eskridge from the Seahawks.
I don't even know who that
exactly.
is.
Tutu Atwell.
Yeah, he's a gadget player.
Terrence Marshall Jr.
Oof. Yeah.
TMJ. Josh Palmer.
Damn.
De'Ami Brown, Washington football team.
Oh yeah.
Amari Rogers from the Packers.
Damn.
Nico Collins.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's proven to be a stud.
Anthony Schwartz.
But I would still take Amon-Ra over him.
Anthony Schwartz.
No.
Dez Fitzpatrick.
Nope.
I don't even know who the fuck that is.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
Damn, son. Yeah. But that just goes to show you, man, how mentality is everything. He saw that. He used that as fuel to make him be the best version of himself, and he's getting paid more than all those guys.
Yeah.
With the exception of probably Jamar Chase. He's going to get a bigger contract when he actually signs.
Yeah. He's got more money than Devonta Smith, Jalen Waddle already.
Yeah. He's amazing. He's amazing, and he's earned it, and he's put in the work. And look, he's got a Netflix show.
Rashad Bateman almost got cut.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, so
and we drafted receivers to replace him twice.
Well, it goes to show you, man, he may not be the most talented. Whatever those teams look at him, because all these teams, they do all their research and they look at all these athletes and all the potential outcomes and their ceilings and their base levels. But it goes to show you when you set your mind to something, you let something motivate you and you believe in yourself and you put in the work like he does. Mm-hmm. And he's a consummate professional. Like, bro, he's killing it. And they're favorites to make it to the Super Bowl right now. So you love to see it.
So, this has been passed, and I know some people are here like, this is not whiskey. Shut up. You're here now.
Yeah.
So the reason why I brought it up, obviously, I think it's interesting when we talk about the spirits and what these athletes do and Hard Knocks and seeing them as human beings and see their desires, hopes, and dreams and seeing everything that makes them tick. It's very easy to forget that these athletes are just not a number and just a player in your fantasy team and all that. Right. They actually have hopes, goals, families that are waiting at home, and they know that their shelf life is limited.
For sure.
We talk about
running
backs.
That sport. Yeah.
Yeah, it's running backs. Come on, like what year did I think? What's his fuck? Todd Gurley's 28 right now.
Oh, that's crazy.
29. It's 28, 29. He's
that's
not even
wild.
30. And he's retired.
Yeah.
And
well, I mean, what did they say? What was the number? It was like the average across all positions.
He just turned 30 August 3rd.
Okay. But the average is like 3 or 4 years, right? Lifespan in the NFL?
Yeah, 3 or 4 years.
I think that's the average for all players. Because quarterbacks play for
15 years.
Yeah, for 10 years. But their average amongst all positions is like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, depending on how good. Yeah, you have to be outstanding. You have to be some kind of standout before. Yeah. And even then, running backs probably, they come into the league at like, let's say, it also depends when you come in.
Right.
So there's some motherfuckers who walk into the league at 19, 20.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, maybe till 24, 25.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, if you're like 28, 29, you're considered old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
27, 26 is when people are like, you start
he's at the tail end of his career. He's not going to get a big contract. Yeah.
Which 26, 27 and every other thing is like, you're at the like the highest, like
you're
this is
just
great,
getting it.
You're a young fucking child still.
Absolutely.
So it's crazy to see this. So when I see them like make the drinks, they make their spirits, they do the podcast. You see Cam Newton, he's washed as an NFL player, but he was a Heisman Trophy winning, like NFL MVP. He was ahead of his shit. He was 4th and 1, that podcast. He made a career out of his big personality and persona.
Yeah.
And he knows his shit.
People are going to listen to him too. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though,
he knows his shit.
We've talked about him before, he sometimes he's bitter about some things, but he knows his shit, and he's a great talent former MVP. Took his team to the Super Bowl, so he's got great he's a boss. I respect him because he's another one who's got like his own cigar club and where he has spirits and stuff like that. So he's doing his own thing for his community back in, I think it's Atlanta is where he has all that stuff. So he's doing really well for himself. And the podcast is just, I love the fact that there's this avenue that you can take after a career, because they live and breathe this their whole lives. And then now they have this opportunity to, how am I going to make money? How am I going to build my brand? And now they can really give insights. I love the personal stories, locker room stories and stuff like that. Things they give the insights. Like, I'm a huge Michael Jordan fan. So I love to hear like the back in the day stories of like how Mike was just a killer, and like, all these little personal stories. So, but not just specific to Michael, but just in general, all those little stories you hear about these players that you love. Was Barry Sanders, like he's my favorite running back of all time. Like, I saw his Amazon special, and then, just to hear people talk about him, I was just like, man, he was great, so I love that these athletes have a voice after their careers, and they can share insights to the way coaches coach, players play, fan bases, like all that little detailed inside stuff is always super interesting.
Fucking who is it? Wide receiver. He used to be New England Patriot, Julian Edelman. They have their own podcast too. He has Gronk on. He has a couple people on. Like they're fucking entertaining. Amon-Ra St. Brown and his brother Equanimous St. Brown, which is why you calling your kid Equanimous. Stop it. Be an extra. I guess Amon-Ra is also a fucking extra.
That might be
they have their own show. They're fucking hilarious. But most of their show is just them talking shit about each other.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
They're fucking hilarious. But Shannon Sharp obviously has had his career blow up.
Yeah.
But then you see people like Brady. He's 108 years old by NFL standards, but now he's commentating on Fox.
Yeah.
Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Yeah.
He's had a very successful career. Now he's doing commercials for State Farm, Allstate, ESPN. He's doing all this shit.
Yeah.
Richard Sherman, like these people, Ryan Clark, like they've made this whole a career afterwards, which is brilliant, but a good amount of these players don't get that.
True.
Le'Veon Bell is a great example of it didn't work out after the NFL. He's doing celebrity boxing matches and now fucking doing a podcast with Antonio Brown.
Oof.
Like double CTE in a room is not a great thing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I sound so fucked up and like, but these are not the success stories of people of life after
the
NFL. But you know what that made me think of? And I sent it to you as a note. Have you ever heard of the show Playmakers?
No.
Okay.
I've not heard of that.
So the show Playmakers, it was an old show on ESPN.
Okay.
So it was essentially, they said it was not based on facts, but it was a show based on a pro football league and the dirty secrets behind the league.
Okay.
So it was a full
so it was an ESPN TV show.
TV show.
Okay.
It was like a scripted TV show.
Right.
And it talked about people taking drugs and piss testing and TV show. I'm going to tell you who was in it. So the show was an American drama series. Yeah. You want to know why you never heard about it? Because ESPN and the NFL sued and said, get this the fuck off the air.
Oh, shit. Wow.
The show was rated 82% on Rotten Tomatoes, 8.4 on IMDb. And some of the
pretty well rated, yeah.
It was a fucking fantastic show.
Yeah.
So you're following like an older transitioning running back, a newer coming in running back. You know who the new guy is a running back was? Omar Gooding.
Oh, yeah, really? Yeah.
You know what his whole dramatic thing is? He was addicted to fucking crack.
Oh, Jesus.
And like freebasing and do all this shit. And he would do he was always high.
Yeah.
Like he would run high.
Wow.
You know who also was always on drugs or alcohol? Clinton Portis. Like,
oh yeah.
He admitted it afterwards.
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
There was.
It's interesting when you hear those after they retire. you know, you hear the stories about what they were involved with.
But the series came out in 2003. Very, very old show. You shouldn't hear about it. But there was even like controversy about an openly gay player. Like all this people doing drugs, people taking steroids because the older running back is like, I need to get back into it. Yeah. So older running backs like, I don't know, AP or other ones that are like, you shouldn't be as good as you are, sir.
Yeah.
Like shit like that.
That's interesting.
So I'll let you look at like.
But that's what's interesting because then how does that impact their Hall of Fame status?
Yeah.
Right. You know, some of those players like, were you, what's going on? You know, like, were you playing it fair and straight or what?
And you're following this middle linebacker who hit a player and paralyzed him.
Yeah.
And him going through that stress and that personal
and that's,
impact.
I mean, it sounds like a good show.
It was an amazing show. Yeah. It had one season before the NFL's like, absolutely the fuck not.
Yeah.
Like, and
did they have the NFL license for it, or was it just like football players?
It was a fictional pro football team.
Okay. Interesting.
But because the network was ESPN, people were like, you guys know a lot of this, a lot of the secrets.
Getting the insight for sure.
Yeah. I was going to find the producer of it because there was also like, you saw real NFL players on the show.
Okay.
Like, so they're like, even more, it was feeling like you're lending credibility to what they're doing. Like, hold on. Why the fuck do you have this?
Yeah.
Like, why is this person here?
Exactly.
Like, the second episode is called The Piss Man. Where people come in
how
and
to get over the drug test.
We know when people are going to get drug tested, blah, blah, and all our rookies. There's even one scene where like they show the rookie running back partying and doing cocaine with a bunch of girls at a pool. And there's a video and the owner brings him in, plays the video, takes the video out, takes it off, and rips it apart. He's like, you're important.
Yeah. Let's
not see this again.
Wow.
And it's like, the fuck?
Yeah. Like they had something similar on what was the Rock's HBO show?
Playmakers.
He was like,
no, not Playmakers.
No. What?
Hold on.
I can't think of it off top. But there was like a similar situation where like one of the players was seen partying on a boat with taking drugs and like they had to try to cover it up because he was like in line for a contract. Ballers. There you go. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah, but
I'll have to check it out though. If I can find it, is it like on ESPN Plus or anything, or was it like completely removed off everything?
I don't know if it was completely removed. I do have it on DVD.
Sure I could probably see it.
Yes, we have DVDs in this house. I do have it on DVDs, but that old show, fucking Playmakers, I was like, you check it out. If you ever see it, you're gonna be like, oh,
that's cool. I'd be interested to see.
Like, imagine a whole entity is like suing you, like you guys got to take this off there, right?
Man, the NFL's powerful, right? It's got so much damn money attached to that.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just wild. But we are getting a little late in it. We have one last thing. I don't know if you have energy for it because
let's go. Let's do it.
All right. We'll take a quick commercial break. And when we get back, we're going to talk about Thanksgiving. That's the other thing that comes around this time of year for us guys. So be right back.
Sponsor of Bourbon and Bullshit, Big Bang Boom Collective is Orlando's burlesque and cabaret entertainment group comprised of Midnight Fables Cabaret, Big Bang Boom Cabaret, and Foxy's Den. Follow us on Instagram at Big Bang Boom Collective or join our VIP email list for info on upcoming shows by visiting www.bigbangboomcollective.com.
All right, guys. So I'm going to have to end the episode there. It was a lot of fun. Went a little late into the night. There's another 40 minutes or so that are still there for you guys to take in, and it will be released eventually as bonus features. But if you'd like access to it sooner rather than later, as always, sign into our Patreon. Patreons will have exclusive access to episodes uncut, unfiltered, and for other goodies as well as Whiskey Minutes and some surprises along the way. So if you are interested, make sure you check out the show notes and get on our Patreon. We appreciate all support. Even $1, every single bit helps for this labor of love we call Bourbon and Bullshit. Guys, don't forget, stay safe, drink responsibly, and don't text your ex. Bye, guys. Hey guys, today's episode is brought to you by Burn, Termite, and Pest Control. I first met Joe Byrne on Full Frontal Nerdy Show and decided to give his company a try. They have been the best pest service I've ever had. From flexible scheduling, attention to detail, fair pricing, and everything you love about a small business, I highly recommend Joe Byrne and Burn, Termite, and Pest Control. It's a family-owned and operated business with over 30 years of experience in termite and pest. You can reach Burn, Termite, and Pest Control at 321-297-7985. Once again, 321-297-7985. And let them know Bourbon and Bullshit sent you. Thanks, guys. See you next time.